piggybacking on my last video about Kentucky passing a law through their House of Representatives decriminalizing nursing errors. So I knew that there would be ignorant people in the comments, just like they have since Redon DeVos, saying that nurses need to be criminally prosecuted, and all of that. So I told myself I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to engage with them. The part that annoys me is I've made a million videos explaining this, and all of the literature, all of the research, all of the evidence is out there, but people are just too lazy or ignorant to read something, before they open their mouth. So let's go through this once again. Just culture. That this isn't just a term to be thrown, this is real. This is why it's taught in nursing school, why it's so important. If nurses can safely report things, errors that they've made, that someone else has made, that they caught, a near miss even, then we're going to prevent that from reoccurring in the future, because there will be what we call an RCA, root cause analysis, that an investigation into what caused it. Because what we know is that nearly always, it's not just that the nurse made an error, it's that the systems in place were somehow inadequate and it allowed for the nurse to make an error. So you need to step away from it from a patient perspective and think about this for a moment. If you were a nurse and you caught a mistake that you made, knowing that you could now, for the past 5 years, be criminally prosecuted and thrown in jail, would you tell anyone? If you thought you could get away with it? Would you tell anyone? No. The vast majority of people would not. It's bad enough to know that you could be fired, that you could have to go before the State Board of Nursing, and that's a whole hearing and a whole thing in and of itself, that you could lose your license, all of these things, and civil litigation, right? That, it could bankrupt you, could take your house. All these things are enough. Those that want to say nurses aren't held accountable, bullshit. You just don't know what you're talking about. We are held accountable in a million different ways. But to now, as it has been for the last few years, take it a step further and say, we're going to put you in prison because you made a medication error or some kind of error with no ill intent whatsoever. Would you come forward? No. I wouldn't. As a single mom, if I thought I could get away with it, and I'm looking at the potential of prison on top of everything else, why would I come forward? Common sense. And so what is the natural outcome from that? If nurses are too afraid to come forward, that means that these system errors that allow these mistakes to happen in the first place, they won't be known, they won't be caught, they won't be improved, because no one's going to know about it. So that means your grandpa, your husband, your daughter, when they're hospitalized, are now exponentially more at risk of suffering some kind of terrible consequence from an error, because nurses will not report it. Now, I don't care if you think it's right or wrong. It doesn't change reality. It doesn't change the fact that that's the outcome, whether you like it or not. When you start criminally prosecuting nurses, it becomes much, much more dangerous for you as a patient. That's it. You don't have to like it. Doesn't change the reality. That is the natural outcome. So go on with your bad self. Think that you're holier than thou and nurses need to be, literally crucified. Let's see how you feel when you're in the hospital and something's gone wrong, but no one knows why. Someone knows why, but someone is afraid to come forward because of people like you.